Welcome back, future leaders, to part 2 of this special series. My name is Benjamin Selby-Hele, Leadership Through Lifestyle Coach at I Choose Awesome. Now, how did we go after the first part in our video series? Were we able to apply and begin to change our values and apply the learnings from that video? Continue with that and be consistent with it, because as I mentioned last video, that really is the key principle to getting you on the right track. As soon as your values are aligned with where you want to go as a leader, that's when you start to inherently and unbeknownst to you become identified as a leader, because you're being consistent with those strong values. Alright, so in part 2 today, so remember this is part 2 of our 60-part series of our Future Leader Blueprint program. But again, another big game changer. This is a massive component today. Today, by the end of today's video, you're going to understand how to get yourself recognized as a leader and get yourself put on that leadership radar by being able to build strong relationships with your boss and seniority and begin to start to really grow that confidence around seniority and talking with them as well. If you can start to build strong relationships with your direct superior, it's virtually a cheat sheet to the top. Well, not directly, but they can give you really strong guidance if they begin to take you on as a bit of or you begin to take them on as a bit of a mentor. You can work together with them. So the information that I present today, if you don't apply it, well, then you're going to end up being stuck. You're going to be stuck in the slow lane. Your confidence around seniority is going to remain relatively low because you just simply won't have the practice and be well versed in it. And essentially, you'll get passed over for those promotions. And that's not what we want. You want to move fast, but you want to develop as well. You want to earn that position or that elevation. It reminds me of a quote or an analogy. It's behold the turtle. He only makes progress, or she only makes progress, as he or she sticks his neck out. So you've really got to be prepared to get a little bit uncomfortable with the information that we're talking about today, because when it comes to applying it, it might not be something that's particularly in your comfort zone at the present. But you can start to push the boundaries and develop that comfort zone a little bit broader. So on the flip side of that, the really positive part of today, if you apply all this information that I'm going to be talking to you about and apply these principles, well, the rewards are there for the brave. Fortune favours the brave. You'll be recognised as a leader. You'll really start to build in confidence, which is something that's going to allow you to flourish, because confidence is really, that's a massive part to leadership. If you can be confident with where it is that you want to go and you're self-assured, that really puts you on the map as a potential leader. So the direct result of it is that you'll be earmarked, you'll be identified as a future leader, and that pay rise then becomes a little step closer. That job promotion, just a little bit closer again. So the principles that we're going to address for today. So we want to get recognized by management. So first and foremost, you need to study. You've got to study your company, your direct superiors, your boss, your colleagues. Study like it's an exam. You should understand and have an idea on everyone within your direct team. If you want to assume a leadership position, you need to get to know the people around you. 75% of leadership, I'd say, is attributed to relationships. So the more that you can start to go out there and meet people and introduce yourself and understand how they fit into the mix, the sooner you're going to start to get recognised as a potential future leader. The second principle, test those waters. So running on from that notion of the meet and greet, you want to get yourself a little bit uncomfortable. Think of yourself as like a Christopher Columbus, going to explore uncharted territories, uncharted waters. Up until he set sail, everyone thought the world was flat. What what a crazy time to actually have lived. But what did that mean, him bucking the trend and throwing caution into the wind? Think of yourself in the same capacity. Go out there, meet new people. Meeting new people, putting yourself in unfamiliar territory opens up new opportunities and new doors. So by all means, test the waters and put yourself out there. The third principle, the third action you need to start to apply is observe the leaders within your immediate team, within your immediate company, and outside of the company, leaders you aspire to, but then start to apply the traits and the things that they do to yourself. Become a leader yourself. If you want to be considered a leader and be considered for a job promotion or pay rise, then you need to start acting like one. So really take on that onus. Be like a baby, like when we're first brought into this world. We learn by doing. We do what the adults do, what the people older than us do, and we copy that. So take on that sort of, that fresh eyes approach. Observe and apply. Really, really important. Lastly, the last principle is make the meeting. Book the meeting. Have a meeting with your direct superior and outline your intentions to want to assume a leadership position. And then be genuinely inquisitive. Go into the meeting with a notepad and pen and some already pre-framed questions. Ask them what leadership looks like within this company. What values do they esteem? What skill sets do you need to develop? Get them on side in helping you start to progress and make real progress in your leadership journey. And that's going to fast track you significantly. I've recently finished working with a client named Brad. He was in a company, a big corporate company, for the past 12 months before he came to see us. And he was getting quite frustrated because he was an outgoing guy and he really wanted to become a leader and climb the ranks within his corporate environment, within his company. But after 12 months, no one had shown any interest in him. I mean, he was doing his job fine, but he thought he was displaying all the values and skills that the company wanted to see, that his superiors would want to see, that would get him a promotion. So after having this discussion with Brad, he, upon our recommendation and our second initial step, obviously, he organised a meeting with his direct superior. And lo and behold, to his surprise, the skills and the values that he was working to, then trying to display, were different and weren't congruent with what the company were looking for. His direct superior was sort of surprised that he was looking for a leadership position. But upon being notified of this and having it brought to his attention, he got Brad in a leadership program, an in-house leadership program. Needless to say, 6 months after that fact, Brad achieved his first pay rise and first job promotion. An absolutely phenomenal effort. But it just goes to show you the trap that people that are new to the corporate environment can run into. Brad spent that whole first year trying to find his feet, trying to find his way around, as opposed to showing some initiative and just going straight to the person in the know. So if you can apply these principles, then you're going to be better equipped and prepared to get that promotion and get recognised for it. So start by doing that research. Really, really important. Start by doing the research, then begin to test those waters. Learn about the people in your office. Go out and meet people. Get a little bit uncomfortable. Start to build those relationships. Thirdly, ensure that you're observing. You're being really observant and you're an active listener, and then applying your learnings. And then lastly and most importantly, organise that meeting. Once you've got your own thoughts together and you've written them down on paper, organise that meeting with your direct superior and voice your intentions, that you want to climb the ranks, that you want to be someone who influences. What do you need to do? What skills do you look for? Can you help me? Just ask yourself the question now, what would it mean to you if you had if you could work in conjunction with your direct superior? If you could work in conjunction and have great confidence with the leadership groups already within your company. Why do you want that? What would that mean? Be sure to write those answers down. because that's your motivation right there. All right, so that just concludes our part 2 for our video series today. Part 2 of 4. So our next, in part 3, which is to come, we're going to be talking about personal ambitions and why they're so important in ensuring that you've got them and you've got them crystal clear, and how they work in conjunction with your leadership journey, getting recognised by management and getting that pay rise or job promotion. With that being said, my name's Benjamin Selby-Hele. Keep choosing awesomeness in all that you do, and we'll see you in the next video.